I wasn't really naked, I simply had no clothes on. That is a quote from the famous Josephine Baker. Josephine Baker was born June 3rd, 1906, and she died April 12th, 1775. She was a woman that did many things for the African American society growing up, and also for women growing up as well. She may have been old, but she has great accomplishments. She was born in St. Louis, Missouri, and when she was born in St. Louis, Missouri, she grew up in a very poverty type background. She also had multiple brothers and sisters, and she had a mom and dad. Now, when she was growing up, she had to fend for herself, so it was a lot of just her and one of her brothers that would do things in order to survive. So one of the type of ways was that there was coal that she would find on the ground that she would end up, her and her brother would just collect and take home so that way they can have a heater. She also became an in-home caregiver or housekeeper. And one of the ladies that she had to take care for or help her out around the house treated her horribly. She would beat her and would put her in the basement to live with the dogs. Now, she ended up getting married at the age of 13, but that only lasted weeks, and then she ended up being divorced too. Now, she was open to racism at a very young age. She saw a lot from the age of 11 all the way to her whole life. But when she turned 19, she decided to move to Paris. In Paris, that's where she found Broadway. When she found Broadway, she became a singer dancer and she did many different plays, many musicals, and everything. Um, the most she had awards. She was also an international star. She was involved in World War II, and she was a civil rights activist. Now, her awards come from, she had a Legion of Honor, which is a military honor, and she did have that because when she was involved in World War II, she was she was a refuge, she was a resistance, and that was basically her just having notes from what Germany was doing. She would transfer it over to France because at that time that's when that war was going on. But during that time, she had to be very secret, so she stayed at like the very south side of France, and she eventually moved to North America. When she moved to North America, she got real sick, and she was there for 19 months, but that was by force because she couldn't get better. But she ended up moving back to France, and then when she moved back to France, they found out how she had helped the army and how she was very well known and how she was such a go getter, I guess you would say. And so she would just keep it going. And so when she moved to Paris, that they awarded her with that too. So then after she moved to Paris, she wanted to come back to the USA and figure and bring what she did in Paris back to France. Now, the original reason why she moved from the USA was because of how bad racism was and how open she was and how miserable her life was. So she moved to Paris for a better life, but she wanted to bring that life back to the USA and help build up from that too. So when she got there back to the USA was around the time when Martin Luther King was doing segregation speeches and everything. She was a part of that. A lot of people don't know that, but she was a huge part of that. Now, when she was a part of that, she was also she just changed lives. She was just in the civil rights activist, like I said before, and then she just had great speeches that like inspired people to help them want to do better and help them wanting to be better. Josephine Baker was a woman through with determination throughout her life. She was determined to make a better life for herself and for others. Part of her determination and wanting to be better is she ended up adopting over 12 kids. And they were all from different backgrounds. They were all mixed races and everything. She was married 4 times, and she only kept her second husband's last name. That's how we know her as Josephine Baker. Um, she was an inspiration to many people and others, not only just for me because I'm an African American woman, but also to the singers out there, the dancers out there. She showed that people could do literally anything.
Good job.